Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we started the chapter 14, and the name of the chapter is National Unity and Freedom Movement. Here, national unity means we want to unite the nation, and freedom movement means all the movements which were started for the independence. As you know that War of Independence took place in 1857. After that war, Muslims lost their powers and status, means they were going under the control of the European powers. That's why too many leaders play a very important role to reawakening the Muslims, means just to take back their status and take back their powers. So in this chapter we were discussing about the different leaders who play a very important role in reawakening the Muslims internationally, okay, means throughout the world, because most of the countries in the world came under the power of the colonial powers. Okay, the first name which we have in our book on page 67, that is of Jamaluddin Afghani. Jamaluddin Afghani was born in Iran in 1838, and he got education from Afghanistan. And he was a man who is just going to travel throughout the world just to guide the Muslims. It means just to guide the Muslims that how they can take care of their status and how can increase the development of their country and how can compete with the Western world in these days. He was a man of liberal and progressive views, means he was in views that modern education should be adopted by the Muslims, and for that purpose we must learn new technology and sciences, because if we are just going to learning these two things, it means that we are far from the Western world. He also believed in Pan-Islamism, and here Pan-Islamism means uniting the Muslims into a single community, the Ummah. Okay, as you know that Muslim Ummah means all Muslims of the world. So he was a man who wanted to unite all the Muslims of the world in a single community. And he was also strongly in favor of ijtihad. And here ijtihad means all those problems or issues whose examples are not found in the Quran and Sunnah, then they are just going to find the solution of that problems by reasoning. Means the muftis and the mulanas just going to sit together and just discuss on that issue and find the solution. And he was strongly in favor of that ijtihad. He was also supported the parliamentary style of government. It means that he was against the power which is inherited to someone, because as you know that too many rulers were not intelligent, and they're just going to also give a very big loss to the Muslim Ummah. So that's why he said that there must be a parliamentary style of government. Means the government must be set up with the help of the selection of the people, not from the inherited way. In this way, the common man having more authorities and the power of the kings are getting decreased. And only because of his views, he famous and popular with the younger educated Muslims, because they like him, and the likeness only because of his progressive views. But another thing which affect him, that his revolutionary ideas upset the orthodox people. Orthodox people means the people who are very strict in their views, in their customs and traditions, and they are just going to accept the modernism. So that's why these people dislike him, and they are just going to upset that, because they said that they are just going to finish our era. That's why. He died in Turkey in 1897 and buried in Kabul University in Afghanistan. As I told you that because he belonged from Afghanistan, that's why he was buried there. And he played a very important role in education, so that's why for giving him a tribute, he is buried in Kabul University. The next leader which we are having in our book, that is of Muhammad Abdu. Muhammad Abdu was born in Egypt in 1849. He was an Islamic scholar, mujaddid, writer, and also one of the founding figure of Islamic modernism. Means like Jamaluddin Afghani, he was also in favor of the modernism. And why he was having the same views like Jamaluddin Afghani? Because he was the student of Jamaluddin Afghani. He also believed in Pan-Islamism and ijtihad like Jamaluddin Afghani. And I told you before this what is meant by Pan-Islamism and ijtihad. And his views were also like the Jamaluddin Afghani was very progressive. Another thing, as I told you, that Jamaluddin Afghani was also focused on the modern education, and he was also in favor of the modern education, but not only for man, also for the women. So that's why he was a man who fighting for the rights of the education to women. And he also makes some special arrangements for women to join the universities, means a separate campus and separate classes were arranged for women in Egypt at that time. And he was also selected as a Grand Mufti and became a member of Supreme Council of Al-Azhar University in Cairo only because of his services. He was not working only in Egypt, he also working in different countries of the world, and the most important work which he had done, that was in Lebanon, because he struggled a lot there just to establish an Islamic school system there. That's why only because of his work for the Islamic school system, he was banned in all those countries where British or European countries are going to rule, because of his revolutionary Islamic views. He died because of kidney cancer in 1905 at the age of 56 years in Egypt. The next leader which we are having, that is of Maulana Muhammad Ali Johar. Maulana Muhammad Ali Johar was born in 1878 in Rampur in India, means before independence. He got education from Lincoln College and Aligarh Muslim University. He was the son of the famous politician B. Amma and brother of Maulana Shaukat Ali. He was a very intelligent man, he was a writer, he was a journalist, poet, politician and Indian Muslim activist. Means he was the man who just going to educate the Muslim regarding the politics, that also how to take back their status and how to get independence from the Britishers. He was one of the leading figure of the Khilafat movement, and if we can say that who launched the Khilafat movement, so we can easily say that B. Amma and their son started the Khilafat movement, and that was started from 1919 to 1924. And before World War I, he started famous weekly magazine, Comrade, to awaken the Muslim politically. As I told you that, because that was a time period when after when that war, they started the Khilafat movement. So that's why, just to awaken the Muslims politically, that how their interference in politics is important, that he guide the Muslim through the Comrade magazine. And another magazine which he issued after the World War I, because terrible loss was suffered by the Muslims in that war. So that's why after that war he started an Urdu magazine named as Hamdard, just to give the Muslim political education. Means he want to educate the Muslim that if they want to take their status, if they want to take all their rights, so it's more important just to know that what is politics and how to govern the country and how to take care of the rights of the nation. And only because of that Khilafat movement, he was arrested by Britishers because of launching the Khilafat movement. And their case trial was set in the Khaliquddin Hall in Karachi, where they were punished by the Britain. And when he released, at that time he was not feeling well, and because as I told you that he was sick, so that's why he went to England for treatment. And even though he was too much sick, but he attended the first roundtable conference in 1930 with Qaid in England. And he died of stroke in 1831. But another important thing regarding his death and regarding his grave, that just check this picture, that is a picture of the Muhammad Ali Johor's grave, and that grave is in Jerusalem. He was buried in Jerusalem according to his will. Means before death he just going to wish that I did not want to be buried in a slave country. As you know that at that time India was not independent, so that's why he said that I did not want to be buried in a slave country, so buried me in Baitul Maqdis in Palestine. So that's why he was buried there according to his wish. Thank you. It's all about today's lecture.